It's an ordinary day. You're running through the village, stealing apples off trees, getting ready to play with your friends, when suddenly the village falls silent. The Devshirme officers have arrived. They line you up, they're looking for something specific. Strong boys, healthy boys. But when they get to you, they stop. They see something different. Your eyes are sharp, you're quick, and when they ask you questions, you answer correctly. Every single one. That's the moment your old life ends. They take you to the Assimi Oka, the Ottoman Empire's mandatory prep school and talent screening center rolled into one. Think of it as a boot camp with a scholarship attached. You survive it. You thrive in it. And eventually, someone notices you can detect a single extra pinch of salt in a pot of soup from a mile away. That's your ticket to Topkapi Palace, specifically to Enderun, the palace school, the inner sanctum. Life here is disciplined, yes, but this isn't the dry bread you grew up eating. You're handed real education, mathematics, Arabic, Persian, and you're placed in the Ostular division, the culinary and medicinal wing, where you learn spices, poisons, which foods heal which ailments, and which combinations could quietly end a man's life before dessert. Your instructors drill one phrase into you, day after day. Your tongue and your palate are the shield of the ruler of the world. Years pass, training ends, and you graduate. But here's the thing. Unlike the other Devshirme boys marching off to war, you won't be fighting on a battlefield. Your battlefield is a dining table. You are now officially a Çeşnigir, a royal food taster. The uniform is sharp, a custom-tailored kaftan, a silver sash around your waist. People step aside when you walk through the palace corridors. Even the Grand Vizier nods carefully when he sees you, because you are one of the few people the Sultan trusts completely. You are the last line between his lips and a slow, invisible death. Here's how your day works. The kitchen prepares the Sultan's meals. Everything goes onto large trays, tabla kare, and gets sealed with a wax stamp. That seal is only broken in front of your eyes. The legendary lamb, kapama, saffron rice, almond soup. All of it passes through your hands first. You take a small spoon. You taste. The room goes completely silent. Everyone watches your face. If there's poison, you go first. Now, before you panic, relax. The palace chefs value their own heads too, so actual poisonings in the royal kitchen are rare. Most days, you're just the luckiest eater in the entire Ottoman Empire. You taste the finest dishes in the world before anyone else. You eat like a sultan, because in a very real sense, you do. And the pay? Every 3 months, your uluf salary arrives. Bags of gold coins, tukur, right on schedule. Free housing inside the palace, free food. The palace physicians monitor your health constantly. You essentially have private health care. And when the Sultan travels on campaign, so do you, staying in one of the most protected tents in the entire military operation. The one trade-off? Your social life is limited. You don't just stroll outside whenever you feel like it, but inside these walls, your reputation is untouchable. Years go by. You get promoted. You're now Çeşnigir başı, head royal food taster. You manage the entire tasting rotation. You schedule shifts around the Sultan's sleep patterns. You personally inspect every wax seal before it's broken. You've become so attuned to poison that you can sometimes detect contamination from the color of a dish alone. The most common poison in those days? Arsenic, known in Persia as zernik. In fact, the old Turkish phrase, "I won't even let you smell the zernik," comes from exactly this culture of palace poisonings. Then there's wolfsbane. Just a tiny dose attacks the heart and nervous system. Hemlock, which leaves your mind perfectly conscious while paralyzing every muscle, so you watch yourself die. And calomel, mercury chloride, tucked inside medicine, hiding in plain sight. The cruel irony? Most of these poisons were also used as medicines. The difference between a cure and a killing was simply the dose. You develop your own methods. Sometimes you eat with a silver or emerald spoon. Legend says certain poisons make precious metals tarnish on contact. Sometimes you just trust your training. And sometimes a dish smells wrong, looks wrong, but you have no proof, no time, and a sultan who's hungry. In those moments, one of the junior tasters takes the risk instead. That's the weight of leadership. By your 40s, the job has changed. You're not just tasting food anymore, you're deep inside palace politics. Viziers slip up beside you in corridors and press a pouch of gold coins into your hand. Overlook the lamb dish tonight. You return the gold every time. because you've seen what happens to people who don't. The Sultan is old now, tired, but still on campaign. You're with him, you're always with him. The siege has dragged on too long. The air smells like gunpowder and anxiety. Inside the command tent, nobody talks about victory anymore. They're already deciding what comes after. It's a cold, rainy September night. A single oil lamp burns inside the Sultan's tent. The kitchen prepares a special medicinal broth meant to revive him, strengthen him. The tray arrives. The seal is broken in front of you, as always. You are the Çeşnigir. This tasting is yours. You dip your silver spoon. First sip, normal. But then, as it slides down your throat, bitter almonds. That unmistakable, burning scent. Cyanide. Pure, fast, efficient. The room starts to spin. There's a fire in your stomach. Your knees buckle. The Sultan is already reaching for his spoon. He's looking at you. With the last of everything you have, you swing your arm and knock the entire tray to the floor. The silver bowl skids across the stone. The broth spreads in a dark stain. The Sultan stares at you, confused as you crumple to the ground. Your eyes close, and the last thing you feel is his hand on your shoulder. History books will say the Sultan died of natural causes. Maybe they'll be right about the timing, but wrong about the reason. Because on that cold September night, one Devshirme boy who was once stealing apples in a village held the fate of an entire empire in his hands. And he chose the empire, a child taken by force, trained to taste death for a living, and in the end, he tasted it once too many times. If you made it this far, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.